I'll make a few quick announcements while I have the mic. Well, a couple of handouts that I saw. Steve Crooks, Division I Director, doing training next Saturday afternoon. You have capacity to help them out. Sure, you very much appreciate it. Just hook up with them at the end of the training. I also have some handouts at the back table. I don't know if I have enough for everyone in the room. One that I have an affinity for is from David McAllister. It's on how to handle low attendance meetings. If you have 5 members or less in attendance, DCP has a strategy for each number of members that you have. And I found that to be very helpful. Many clubs during the summer and at other times of the year don't have enough members to cover the full slate. So he gives us some options for having a good meeting without 7 or so members. And that's electronically available as well. There should be a handout, but you do have 2 handouts related to membership building. Who likes cookies? Who likes sweet markets cookies? Stick their favorite.
Yeah, Blues are better.
And Lou does have some fantastic cookies. I think that I've got some pretty good cookies as well. I want to share my cookies with you. We have a membership building contest going on right now from Toastmasters International. It's called the Sedley Award. For any club that signs up or adds 5 new members, dual members, not transfer members, 5 members between August 1st and the 30th, that club wins the Sedley Award. They receive a ribbon, they receive 10% off an order from TI, and our district gives a $100 certificate for TI purchases. Now that's what the club gets. If you are able to encourage the clubs, support the clubs, enable the clubs to reach 5 members or more and achieve the Sedley Award, you automatically get 1 dozen of Sweet Harold's cookies. And if the division, how should I say this? The division with the most Sedley Awards gets a pizza party, or whatever you'd like at that moment. It could be a different cuisine. Maybe not steak and lobster.
From a dozen to 20, so I can share it with everyone in the whole club.
That's negotiable. I'm willing to share those cookies. Last year, we had 1 Smedley Award winner in the entire district. So let's see what we can have. We just had 5. That'd be fantastic. That's very important. And the more members we can add right now, the smoother the ride is for that club throughout the year. So there's great incentive for clubs to go for that award. At the bottom of the cookies handout, I listed 3 types of ways, or 3 ways that the club can go after the award. One is each one bring one. Encourage each member to bring just 1 guest to every meeting in the next couple months. And why not stop there? Just keep doing it. That's a great way to build membership. Special events and open houses also could be used. I think it's important when we talk to clubs to give them the tools or give them some options, some ideas to help build membership. It's one thing to have a contest, it's another thing to provide the support, the ideas, and the tools. Hopefully you have a handout about club leads. If you have any ideas for a new club, any leads on the club, you can provide a lead. I'll absolutely follow up, see if there's an opportunity for us to start a new club or start the process for a new club. Give recognition to anyone who does, and down the road, there'll be some gifts involved as well, still determining what the gift level is. Today's topic is about building new clubs as well. While I'm talking, not in the presentation yet, I do want to recognize some folks who are doing this fantastic job in the club growth and retention area. Tom Dale, you identified, I would say, challenges with a couple clubs in your area, and you found and recruited 2 coaches that could help I really appreciated that. That was very proactive. Let's give Tom a round of applause. Carol, you provided a lead. We provided an opportunity that said, yeah, there's a club that's possibly forming, and let me know about it. I really appreciate that as well. Let's give Carolyn a round of applause. Thank you for working on a club I know at the time in Rochester. I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know. And Brian Hinton and Jane Rishmiller, who's not here, but Brian's here, working on at least one opportunity in Mankato. A round of applause for Brian. If I miss anyone, I'll absolutely make it up next month. You'll automatically get cookies, just tell me if I miss it. So today's talk, there's a main message here, and that is that you can build a club. You can be part of the process that builds clubs. And clubs are the vehicle for providing value to individuals, to helping them grow. So take every opportunity you can to build a club or to start the process of building a club and sharing the value of Toastmasters with others. What I'm going to share today is a little bit about my role, where we're at, what my plans are for the year, how I hope that we can build some clubs, and also provide some tools. We'll see how far we can get. A disclaimer, and I felt compelled to put this in. We're talking about building clubs, and often we can think, well, if we focus so much on building clubs, what about the clubs we already have? That's a fair argument. Some of this might be so heavily towards building new clubs, it may turn you off. And I want to make sure that I make it clear that we're all about growth, and we're all about adding more members and more clubs, but not at the expense of what we already have. Members' experience and club excellence always comes first. We heard about that at International, and the president and the board of directors said pretty much the exact same thing. It's what we have. We're going to focus on what we have, but we also have to grow at the same time. Who's seen Office Space? So it's the boss. And they're asking, well, what do you actually do here? What's your role? I'm responsible for adding clubs, keeping the clubs we have strong, adding members to all clubs. I have two challenges. There's two ways that I contribute to the district. I have two challenges. One we call the Club Growth Challenge. Let's just state that succinctly. My goal, or one of my goals for the year, is to achieve 8% net growth in clubs. That's a net gain of 23 clubs. Every club we lose, we have to add that back and then some. It's a monster goal. And then finally, the other one is membership payments. I have underlined payments. An 8% increase in membership payments. It's not simply members, but the actual payments. That would take some time to explain. I think the really important thing is that it's about adding members and adding members throughout the year. That's important. If we added members at the end of the year, it doesn't have the same effect as if we added more right now. 8% in both categories, that makes us in contention to be a President's Distinguished District. You might be wondering, well, what does this have to do with me? What's in it for me? I'll get there pretty soon. I'm going to skip some slides about where we're at in the district and where we've been and move on. I wanted to provide some context as far as really simply, our district has been distinguished once in the last 6 years, and it's really important to me that we make every effort to go for that this year. That's why the high goals. And I'm pretty sure we can with the team we have. And that's everyone in the room. Our success is collective. When the areas succeed, divisions succeed, the districts succeed. And that can't happen until our clubs succeed and we build more clubs. When I got started in the year, I have to admit it became very overwhelming when I looked at our 290 so clubs And I saw a good number of them were at 12 or less in membership. When you see 100 of them, or a third of your district, a third of what you're responsible for, at that level, it becomes pretty overwhelming. And you probably in each area of division have some portion of that. And that's an area to really focus on that we have to manage this year. To put it in numbers, we're at about 293 that are on the books. Some are carried over, but low into this year. Between 8 to 12 members, we have 25% right now, 24%. 13 to 19 in that membership range, we have another 24, almost 25%. Almost half of our district is below where we would like. And about another half, the other half is strong. For our transitioning clubs, what's important, and what I think is very important to pass on, is that where are those clubs going to go this year? Are they going to go up in membership, stay the same, or decline and go down? I hope that it goes up. It comes down to us being able to provide training and support so the clubs can move forward. That's another visual way of looking at where our district is in terms of red, yellow, and green. And as you work with clubs, as you see red or yellow, anything that's transitioning towards the yellow or red, as Larry mentioned, certainly bring that up, both Larry and I. That's very important. We care, I would say, quite deeply. That's what I'm responsible for this year. At the end of this year, how I'll judge my performance is how many clubs have we moved out of challenge and transition? What's the percentage at the end of the year? That's important. It's not just about numbers, it's about the members' experience. If somebody walks in the door and joins a club, we want them to have a great experience. That has to happen in a good club that has the members to support the program. And the other two goals I've already mentioned. So that's how I'll report my progress throughout the year and judge myself in the end. Now on to the clubs. A couple of things that I want to cover today to get the rationale of why do we need to start new clubs, who's involved, what's the process, and what does that have to do with everyone in the room. We do at times hear some feedback that says, no, don't worry about new clubs, strengthen what you have. And it's a valid argument. But our mission in this district, and our district's mission, is to build new clubs and support all clubs. Half of our mission is to build, and we have to do that. Think about in what we tell our clubs. We say you have to continue to add members because some members leave, and you can't avoid it. Our district is really no different, except clubs are similar to members. We have to continue to add, keep everything strong, but continue to add because things do happen. And as we add more clubs, we extend the reach of Toastmasters to benefits. Just like a new member brings energy to a club, a new club will add new energy to our district. New ideas, new perspectives, amazing speeches at speech contests. That's just a good thing to have more of. And we are a community. The more we have, the more we benefit from our community, so it's important for us to keep that strong. I don't want to lose perspective when I talk about new clubs. There are real reasons for it. Who builds new clubs? Who builds clubs? In a club, who is responsible or who has an interest in adding more members to the club? It's everyone. Everyone has a role in building membership or adding members. Likewise, really everyone in the district should have some interest for building a new club. However, that usually isn't a big concern for clubs. At the district level, we are very concerned and very interested in adding more clubs. Everyone in the room should have an interest. I'll get to some of the rewards for building new clubs, a new club, or adding a club. Some of the roles that are involved in the club building process. So my role, which is overall responsible for club growth. area directors, division directors. It's you. You can play a part, you can facilitate, you can help us find leads, help participate in kickoff meetings, follow up. And the reason you'd want to do that, one reason would be to help keep your area strong, your division strong. And there are some honors at the end of the year in terms of being President's Distinguished. That's very, to get that award, you do have to have a net growth or have some gain. Who knows what a club sponsor does? A couple. Okay. In the new club building process, there are sponsors and there are mentors. A sponsor is responsible for taking a prospective club and leading it all the way through chartering. In practice, that can be a lot of involvement, there can be very little involvement, depending on what's needed. But as individuals say, well, I'd like to be a sponsor of the club, it can mean taking a lead, taking a prospective club, and moving it all the way up to the point where we're submitting our charter paperwork to Toastmasters International. Could mean recruiting members, promoting the club, helping it get over the initial membership building process. Definitely involves finding selecting the officers and going through the overall process. So the club sponsor takes the prospective club and moves it all the way through charter. When I first got involved as an area governor, I lucked out, and this happens. I walked into a meeting, I served as a grammarian. The club formed immediately after the meeting, and I was a successful club sponsor. I didn't have to do too much. Others at times, it was more involved. And I would say that there's more growth involved as well, if you can take it all the way through. How about a mentor? Who knows what a mentor does? Okay? Once the club charters, the mentors, one or two, will take over and guide that club for the first 6 months at least. And they have a very, very critical role. I mean, just an incredibly critical role in the life of that club. A club is, I would say, at risk during the first 3 years. Things can happen, and it's important that the club is prepared, has good officers, and has good practices so that it can, I would say, continue to grow, know what to do when things come up. Mentors in that first 6 months really lay the foundation for that club. Help that first set of officers establish good practices within the club. I think it's probably the most fun position. If you're to take a sponsor or a mentor, I'd rather be a mentor, even though it's a 6-month commitment. You get so much out of it. We see that club grow from day one all the way up to being a very established club. And you have a lot to do with this help beyond your term. So what's in it for you? You might be saying, why do I care again? In your area or division, to achieve President's Distinguished, earlier we heard, or we saw that many had said, I want to have a President's Distinguished, Distinguished area or division. How about President's Distinguished? I'll get a judge of interest level. Couple, that's good. We have to grow. We have to grow the area division to be President's Distinguished. We have to offsetting the losses with plugging clubs and then grow by at least one. And I want to tell you here for that and to support you in those efforts. If you want it, I'll do whatever I can to make sure that we can have that happen. Also, from an educational point of view, you have to serve as a club mentor, club sponsor, or club coach. I'm not going to get into what a club coach does because it's more about extension at this point. Probably one of the biggest obstacles in the education program for a member achieving a DTM is to serve as a mentor or sponsor. I had a very quick term sponsor. Go ahead, Phil.
I just have a question. If you get a lead on a new club, can you be both the sponsor and the mentor, or is it best to have like team people come in? That's like a one.
Yeah, I haven't had the case or heard of the case where somebody serves as both the sponsor or the mentor. I don't think there's anything that would say that it couldn't happen. Usually, sponsor is sought after, and the mentor, we fill in from the mentors once the club charters. But I don't see why it couldn't happen if somebody really wanted to do it. If we had more enough interest, I might say, is it possible to let somebody else serve in that role? Technically, no reason why it couldn't happen.
Yeah. And it would be attractive for somebody to advertise, I need a mentor, because it's like, that's holding up my DTM status. You know, I would like to know about those opportunities, that myself personally, but maybe somebody else that's waiting for that. It's hard to get if you have somebody or an opportunity to say so, and you know, you never know who's waiting for that.
That's too fun.
Yeah.
For any lead that comes in, that person that gives the lead absolutely has the first dibs on being a sponsor or a mentor, whatever they prefer. In my mind, they're really serving as a sponsor. So my commitment to you in this year is that if you want a President's Distinguished area or division, or if you need club growth, I'm here to help with that. But there is a partnership. We do need to work together in order to find new opportunities in your area or division, to add more clubs. I'm here to help with that process, and I'm really will be overall responsible for the process. So adding new clubs and then keeping the clubs we have very strong. Thank you.
How does TI look at a club who was, say, at 8, and if they go down to 7, are they considered still a club? Or are they, can you please explain how that works? Because I've had some experience with that, and I'm not sure everybody knows how that works.
Sure. A valid club will have 8 members or more. When the renewals process goes through, say we get into October 1st, renewals are due. If the club doesn't have 8 renewals, there's a grace period here. But at that point, that club is below the minimum number of members needed to be a valid club. If you continue to operate, I think in 6 months it goes into a suspended status. At that point, if not before, it's no longer visible on TI's website. Guests won't be able to find it through Postmasters International. When it goes to a suspended state, the charter is suspended. The club needs to add more members and pay a reinstatement fee in order to be a valid club. And that's why we never really want to see that happen. At that point, there's an awful lot of work that the club has to do. So, any questions on that? That's a fairly important point.
Well, at the international convention during our business meeting, we did find out when Carol brought up the grace period. So when a club does not have 8 members, it is true they have until the following period to get back up to that 8 minimum of 8. From an overall club or even from a member standpoint, grace periods as we know it are going away effective immediately from this business meeting. What I mean by that is, for example, in the April or the October 1st renewals, there usually was a 2-week grace period where you can still pay your dues and get back into valid status. That's now gone. Now it truly is a deadline that if you pay or don't pay by that point, you're considered an invalid member. And if a club doesn't have an 8 by October 1st, they're considered an invalid club. Yes, they can get back up to 8, work towards it, and become valid again. Or a member can pay after that date to become valid again. But Postmasters International is not calling it grace anymore. I just want to make sure everybody is aware of that. So that when we start looking at reports at Postmasters International, you will no longer see graces and things like that. They just automatically turn it invalid.
How does that get impact? We've got speech contests coming up. You've got members competing and all of a sudden the club becomes invalid prior to the October 16th speech contest. Is that not demo the competition?
I would have to check with Toastmasters International. I think it does.
The club and member have to.
You would have until December, it's November 1st.
That changed
That changed.
That may have changed.
at the recent business meeting.
How often?
So we'll check, but if there's something that.
I think a key point is that's a sticky issue. So if there's a member that's competing as part of a club that isn't even it's below that minimum, we need to get on that pretty quickly. That could impact the eligibility of the contestant.
We were talking this morning about the capacity for the area to support X number of clubs. It's just something we were talking like, we should have 10,000 people in a club, or it's hard to make a club successful with less than 10,000. We have examples of that. But so I'm looking at Rochester's 110,000 club. You know, if there's that 10,000 rule, do we have too many clubs? We really have capacity for more. Are there some guidelines in that one?
Sure. I think we're actually, there is a guideline that I took was. Sure.
We didn't hear any of it.
So the question is, in the community, is there a guideline? Is there something that says that at a certain population level, there can be no more clubs? So for example, Rochester is 110,000 and it has 12 clubs.
Not that you couldn't, but just that you're less likely to be successful. So
Yeah.
you take more effort to be successful.
That there could be a saturation level.
Yeah.
Guidelines that I know, or the rules of thumb that I know, are that a community club, a community can support a community club, one for every 10,000 individuals in the community. So if we look at a city, it's one club for every 10,000. Corporate club would be one for every 150 individuals. And these are just generalizations. It is hard to say. We'd have to take a look at the number of community clubs, number of corporate clubs. I do think there probably might be a case where we reach this level of saturation that it will be hard to form another club. It's a good question. I want to move past some of the process and say that the general process that we use in forming a new club is we find a lead, we have somebody to contact, we work with that lead, the organization, the community, the leader, to understand, is there a strong interest in Toastmasters? Do they see the benefits? Do they want to move forward? If they want to move forward in building a club, we schedule a kickoff meeting. That kickoff meeting, we recommend that as many people as you can promote this kickoff meeting. And we go in and we demonstrate, I would say, a typical Toastmasters meeting and explain the value and benefits. At that point, at the demo meeting, they've seen the product, they've heard about the benefits. We ask, who is interested in moving forward? Hopefully there's enough interest to move it forward that we could get 10 or 12 committed. We can build up over subsequent meetings. In other organizations, you can go directly to charter in one meeting. That's the general process. And I would encourage you, we're just getting started this year, but as we have more kickoff meetings, we'll send this out to, I think everybody will get notifications in their area, in their geographic area, I should say. We have a demo meeting. I just encourage you to get involved with that. I love participating in demo meetings. I do it almost every meeting I can make, just about every month. Because you're participating and you're speaking in front of a new audience all the time. Can't get that at any club. Can't get that at many clubs. I can go in and work and speak in front of a cold audience. To me, that's great for my own growth. Plus, you get to share the value with others. There's one change I'm introducing this year. And that's that you can have, we're going to try to use one-person kickoffs in certain scenarios. So if you're looking at your division team, division director and area director can go in on very short notice and go do a demonstration meeting. We have a handout there. I don't think I'm going to have time to get into that. But if you want to explain to your team at work, or if you have some other group organization that you would like to show what Toastmasters is about and share what it's about, you're more than welcome to use the one-person kickoff format, and I'll give you a script, and I'll probably even try to be there with you, and we'll work through it. But that's a very simple way, a low investment way for you to go share the value with others and see what they think of Toastmasters. If they want to continue, they could either continue towards forming a club, they may find another club to join, or we could do a speech graph and see where that goes. But the more we can get out in front of others, the more we can grow our areas, divisions, and the district. And we could do that with a team, with a demo team, or it could just be individual in a one-person kickoff. So there's more to come with that in the detail. Kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. The regular kickoff involves a team. Usually we try to staff about 7. This year I'd like to try to staff about 4 people. And that will depend on where the prospective club is at, how close they are to chartering. We could use a reduced meeting, a 20-minute meeting versus a 40-minute meeting we can use. And for anybody that hasn't been to a kickoff meeting, that's totally irrelevant what's been done in the past. Let's just say that it will be slightly different from a typical meeting. You basically cut the general evaluator portion out. We stick to the basics: speaking, table topics, and evaluation. I want to welcome up Ann Gresh to talk about the process for handling a kickoff meeting and what she's involved with. And she's our extension chair. She handles all our kickoff meetings at the team level. Let's welcome up Ann Gresh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can I have a good afternoon back? Good afternoon. I want to make sure you're all awake. Everyone's going to sleep. So Harold mentioned that I am the extension chair, and I bet you all woke up this morning and the first thing you asked was, what the heck is an extension chair, right? Raise your hands if you all thought about that first thing this morning. Oh, good stuff, you were honest. Or maybe just being nice to me. That's probably what's going on. So what is an extension chair? An extension chair is somebody who helps support the club growth director. And this role really got defined last year when Diane Ringgold, who was the then Lieutenant Governor of Marketing, really defined it. I don't know that it was really defined until she said, you know what, I think this person needs to be working with the person who's helping develop clubs in the district. And so that's the definition of what a club extension chair is. We're extending the network of clubs throughout the whole district, and that's what I do. And Harold already mentioned a little bit about what we're doing this year. Last year, the kickoff meeting would be 7 people who would help in the kickoff. So we had a Toastmaster, a general evaluator, a timer, a speaker, an evaluator, a table topics master with the Marion odd counter. Harold would like to streamline that a little bit this year. So, before I talk about the helpers, this may be, unless you're only attending the DEC meetings like this may be the one and only time that you see me. So look at this. This is what you can see right now. If you'll never see me again, I'm Ann Gresh. However, most of you, I think, I will see you at other events like telling, like fall conference, like spring conventions. So this won't be the only time that you see me. And the reason I say this is the only time that you'll see me, if you're only going to these DEC meetings, is I communicate through email. I don't need to be up in front of anybody. I just send out an email. And all of you, by default of your role as an area director or a division director, you're automatically on my team. So I think I got my groups together, and I did send out an email, and I said, if you would rather not be part of the kickoff meetings, let me know now, and I can take you off the list. And I didn't hear back from anyone, so I'm assuming as you get emails from me that it's okay that you're getting emails from me. If it turns out through the year, you just know this, I can't do this, I don't have the time for this, let me know, and I'm happy to take you off the list. But I wanted to give you initial, would you like to be on the list yet or not? And then you can see through the year if it's something that works for you. Fair enough? Okay, thank you. So you're automatically all on my team. This year, as I was saying a little bit ago, Harold already mentioned we're going to have a 4-person kickoff team. So we have couple different options. My default would be we'd have a Toastmaster, table topics master, and then there would be a speaker. there'd be an evaluator, and there would be a timer. That would be the 4 pieces. So we wouldn't do the general evaluator role, we don't do the outcome of the Miriam role. So I'd be looking for 4 people. There's another option that I could do that would be just a Toastmaster, a speaker, evaluator, and the table topics and timer would be together. But the 4-member agenda that Harold has supplied to me, by default, I would use Toastmaster / table topics master, speaker, evaluator, and time, speaker, evaluator, and timer, yes. And the Toastmaster actually kind of acts as the general evaluator because after the speaker has spoken, they'll call for the evaluator to come up. So in a little way, the Toastmaster is also doing some general evaluation. That makes sense, all of you? So how I work is I get a heads up from Harold, our growth director, and he says to me, Ann, we have a kickoff meeting happening here or a kickoff meeting happening there. And I try to do this a month ahead at a time. So I send out an email and I say, hey, team, we have some kickoff meetings coming up. Who would like to help me? Essentially, that's the bottom line. That's why I'm asking, who can help me in this kickoff meeting? And then you reply back to me, hey, Brian says, I can help you. I'll be a Toastmaster. Or David says, yeah, I can be an evaluator. So you just tell me what role you'd like to fill, or some people just say to me, put me somewhere, just put me in a role and I'll be there to do it. Either way works. So I put what's called an agenda, you all know about agenda, an agenda together, and once I have my now 4 people for my kickoff meetings, I'll send an agenda out to the kickoff team meeting. I'll say, here's our team meeting, here's the agenda, here's where it is, here's the date, the time. Of course, we already have that in another email. And I send you essentially a first request to get helpers. And then about a week before, I send you out, here's the kickoff meeting. And then 2 days before, I send a reminder, here's the kickoff meeting date and time. So essentially, after I do the initial, I need help email, and I get the agenda put together, and I send that. It's 1 week before, you get the agenda, and the information about the meeting. 2 days before, you get a reminder with the agenda again. And I also send out the kind of the rules and guidelines of how a kickoff meeting should happen. So what do I wear? How should I behave? Kinds of things. They're guidelines for you to look at. So that you know if you've never been part of a kickoff meeting, here's kind of how we like to do it here at the district. So that's my role as the extension chair. Does anybody have any questions for me?
I guess I have one.
Yes.
How many kickoffs do you have kind of in the pipeline right now?
I think that's more of a question. That's a very good question. But what you asked is how many kickoffs we have in the pipeline right now. So I'll throw that back to our board.
Sure.
Right now in the pipeline, we have about 4 kickoffs, 3 that will happen in September. I think there'll be another one coming, the 4th one I'm not so sure about actually. We have several opportunities that are just picking up without kickoffs really needed. I expect this year, last year we did about 20 kickoffs, year before that I think another 20. For us to reach our goal of 36 new clubs, we need about 60 or more. That's why I need to streamline things, so I don't burn myself out and anyone else in the room out. I would expect to have hopefully 10 kickoffs. I haven't done any math at all, and so I leave the list pretty high. But we need to do a little bit more than in the past in order to reach the elevated goal. Yeah.
Harold was mentioning the 1-person kickoff meeting, so the area director or division director will do their own kickoff meeting, so I'm not involved at that point. You get your helpers. If that's something you're really new at being an area director, division director, you're not quite sure if you want to do your own kickoff meeting, I would encourage you when I send the emails out, if you're able to and you have the time, to say, yeah, I'll help in your kickoff meeting if you've never done one before, because then you'll get experience and you'll know what a kickoff meeting is like. So then if you want to move over and say, hey, I'll do a 1-person kickoff meeting because I've done in a formal directional kickoff meeting, I'm good to go. So just know that if you're interested in doing the 1 single demo meeting or kickoff meeting, get involved in the formal ones, and then you'll see what it's like.
If you have an interest in sharing and doing a demonstration, I'll support you and provide the scripts. I'll be there. If you want to provide a demo to anyone else in the other audience, I'll absolutely be there for it as much as possible.
Will you have for individual one-person kickoff agenda materials available online for us to download to give to individuals?
I'll make it available. We do have some welcome packets, welcome to Toastmasters packets. I'll make those available. And I do think the one-person kickoff is going to be somewhat daunting if you haven't done one before. That's why I said absolutely be there. And we'll probably walk through it a few times before we actually leave it to anyone else. They have to go try it without thinking about it or seeing an example of it. I have a couple of requests, and we've thrown a little bit out. And I think the main message I want to say is to please be involved. Think about how you can extend the reach of our district, potentially add a new club, share what we have with others. This is just the beginning. That's really all I want to do is open the eyes to and say that you can start a new club. It's certainly possible. It certainly really comes down to communication and promotion and sharing what we already know with others. I have a couple of requests as I close. When kickoff meetings come up, if you see an email and it's open, give it a shot. Show up. If you just want to observe, that's fine too. If you say, I want to observe, I really don't want to be called on table topics, believe it or not, I'll actually accommodate that. Because I think there's value in just seeing it, being part of it. Set a goal to start a new club. If you have any interest in that, it just seems like something you're curious about, set a goal. If you have an HPL project to do, that's a pretty good goal to do. And I would absolutely be part of the guidance committee and action committee because I want to see that happen as well. We're in this together. Spend some time to strengthen your existing clubs. We have to serve what we have. Absolutely. And then finally, provide feedback. That's a general request. Provide feedback. If something's not happening, you don't feel like your needs are being served, myself, anything else, things that we could do better, not in terms of just extension and retention in my realm, but in terms of is your leadership served? Definitely provide that feedback. So we definitely need to hear it so we can move forward and improve. Are there any questions, anything you want to touch on?
Just one.
So Tom.
Just one. Say you lose a club. But you get one started and it's on the wrong side of the street to be in your definitive geological area. Does that count as your club, or does that count as the area that might officially be?
Yeah.
Yes, is how you would look at it.
I'll make a statement, and it will be a tentative statement. If you go through the entire process and you really go invest yourself in the process of building a club, I will do everything I can to put it into your area so that you can serve it for the rest of the year, because you've proven that you can serve that club. And in the next year, that may get realigned back to the geographic. We have to be pretty careful on geography. So that's what I
So like
consider.
you're in Thunder Bay at night.
It's gotta be a weird one. Just knowing where you're located right
Come
now.
on, Greg.
You had a question?
Yeah, you have the term find leads. Can you give some examples of find leads?
Sure. You're part of an association, or you are part of a school, a group or educational group, or at your work you don't have a Toastmasters club. That would be a great opportunity to potentially start one or see maybe there's interest from your coworkers. That would be a lead to me. If I would ask for contact information, or you might be the lead at that point, or the person that can kind of take it and run with it. The lead is really anything that would lead to a new club. Could be someone in HR or training departments. That's a fairly typical place where education, training, and Toastmasters fits in. Any organization, any community, any group of people, or collection of people, cross-section of people, is a good opportunity to start a club. We'd look and see maybe there's something here for us.
You get with folks then.
Gavel clubs are an interesting thing. I don't think I have too much time to cover that. If there's an opportunity to share Toastmasters, and if I knew that it was going to be a gavel club, I'd still go there and do the demonstration. I just went to Sandstone, the president of Sandstone, on Wednesday. Took the afternoon off We had 110 inmates attend that meeting, and we put on, the 4 of us put on a pretty good show. And I was amazed with the appreciation, the interest that that audience had in starting the club, the Galvin Club most likely, but it could be a charter club. That was probably one of the top moments in Toastmasters. I was blown away at how interested they were and how much value they could see for them. I mean, that absolutely made it worthwhile. Gavel Club versus Charter Club, it doesn't matter. We're going to promote Toastmasters.
What's a gavel club?
Sure. A Gavel Club is a club. It's a good question.
And high school, they're not otherwise eligible for membership.
It's a club where the members really aren't eligible to be Toastmasters because they can't pay, or they, for some reason or not, they can't be members of Toastmasters. They have to be 18 years old, but for other reasons, they cannot be members of Toastmasters. We typically can see that in organizations like correctional institutions.
High school.
We have 2 prison, 3 prison clubs in Nebraska.
That's correct. Some
And
do
they're
charter
actual
clubs.
clubs.
Yep.
They're charter clubs.
It depends on the funding and who can pay. Because if they want to pay the fees, I mean, we're all for that. But if not, the Galvin Club is the option. So that's a fairly specific case. I'm into promoting Toastmasters and doing it in a way that conserves our time and our energy, but also gives every opportunity for people to be part of us. Any other questions? If we're running out of time, I think we completed it. Look forward to serving you. Thanks very much for your attention.